Welcome to Nextara TV. My name is Joseph, and today's video is Microsoft SharePoint 2010 SharePoint Administrator's Guide Lesson 4, Farm Restore. In this episode, catastrophe strikes, but we have our backups and we can restore them. Now, Microsoft has provided us a lot of good information for recovering a farm. Most of it's available here at technet.microsoft.com/en-us/library/ee428311.aspx. There are a few obvious details, like that you can't go from one version of SharePoint to a different version, from a single server farm to a multi-server, or vice versa, and you can't restore an entire farm because you're in that farm and the central administration is part of that, so it'd be like trying to overwrite the floor. So trying to overwrite the farm that you're working on would be like trying to rebuild a floor that you're standing on. Now, the last time we talked, we'd set up and backed up our brand new SharePoint site, and since then the site's been used and put through its paces, customized, and vetted. Now that we're comfortable with it, we're going to be able to get rid of our ancient file server and move on. We've just sent out an email to the old service administrator letting him know that. Unfortunately, we sign in the next day and we find that our former server administrator didn't take the news very well and has vandalized all of our data. Luckily, we have our backups. We can return to central administration and click on Backup and Restore on the left, then click Restore from Backup under Farm Backup and Restore heading. Then when it comes up, we can click on the most recent file here to restore from that, and we click Next. Then we check the farm level, the top level. Then we scroll down and click Next again. Then on the restored page, we'll need to enter our service account passwords. If we leave everything else as the defaults, our restore will start, but we'll finish it with some errors. Once we click on Start Restore, it'll begin the process, bring us to our status page, which we can refresh if we want to do it manually. If we scroll down here, we'll see that the object was found on the current farm and will not be overwritten in Restore as new configuration. This is the error that tells us this is the farm you're using, we can't overwrite it, as we described earlier. Now, the way not to fall into this trap, if we start back at the beginning, and then on our Restore page, we will enter our service IDs and our passwords. And then up here under Restore Options, it asks us the type of restore. Do we want a new configuration or the same configuration? Since we're restoring one that's already present, we'll be selecting the same configuration. And it's telling us that everything we selected will be overwritten, which is exactly what we want, so we can just hit OK. You'll notice that all of these items here are grayed out now because it already knows them, seeing as how they're the new thing, and we can start our restore. It'll bring us to our restore page. We can refresh this, and we just wait until it has to finish. We see that we've completed. Scroll down, there's no messages, no errors, and now we can actually come back and check on our site itself. And then once our site loads, we can see that our graphics are back and our important document is back to the way it was. Now we see the restore is run successfully. We can verify that our site data has returned to before all of the data was lost, including our important document, and our former server administrator will be dealt with by our human resource robots. Thank you for joining Nextara TV for Microsoft SharePoint 2010 SharePoint Administrator's Guide Lesson 4, The Farm Restore. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to visit www.nextara.tv for other tutorials, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/nextara.